Growing up, most of us were taught the same thing. You work hard, save money, buy a house, and then you can start building wealth. But what if that entire timeline could be flipped? What if you could start building real cash flow before you ever save for a down payment? And what if you could start generating income from real estate without owning any property at all? My business partner and I operate dozens of short-term rental properties, generating multiple six figures per month, and we've helped everyday people replicate this exact model from scratch. And in this video, I'm going to break down how the business works, the real numbers, the systems, the mistakes, and the blueprint, everything I wish someone handed me when I started. So if you've been searching for a way to build freedom, cash flow, and a business that doesn't require you to take out a massive loan, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. What I want you to realize in the next few minutes is one simple thing. You're only one lease agreement away from starting your Airbnb business. Not one property purchase, not one massive loan, one lease agreement. The same type of contract you'll sign to rent any apartment. The difference, instead of just living in it and watching your money disappear month after month, you're turning it into a cash flowing asset. Sounds too simple, right? That's because everyone's been taught that real estate wealth requires property ownership. And we're going to flip that belief on its head in the next few minutes. Let's go. Quick refresher on who we are because credentials matter. I'm Jordan, and together with my business partner Terrence, we run Live Lux. We manage 45 properties generating over $250,000 per month in revenue. And to prove that, I have a dashboard here with my statistics for December. Right now it's the 3rd of December and we have locked in $287,000 in revenue at a 44% occupancy rate. So we still have the entire month to go and we're projected to make about $350,000 for this month. Now here's the part that matters. About 2.5 years ago, Terrence and I were exactly where you might be right now. We were uni students. I was studying biomedical science and Terrence was studying data science. And no, we didn't come from any sort of wealth or privilege. I was working a 9 to 5 as a sales consultant, desperately trying to sell light bulbs, and Terrence was working at a supermarket. We were both getting paid minimum wage. We both wanted to get into business, but the problem was that everything required capital that we didn't have, which was a big problem because all I ever wanted to do was make my family proud, but to do it my way. I wanted to be able to build something that was my own and that can allow me to provide for those that I care about the most. For my mum and dad as they get older, for my future wife and kids. The meaningful goals that are difficult to achieve on a simple corporate wage. And so when Terrence and I found rental arbitrage, something that didn't require massive investment, I didn't hesitate to try it out. We tested it with one property, made every single mistake you could imagine. You see, our first property took us 3 to 4 weeks to furnish and costed us $8,000. Now we turn properties over in 2 to 3 days for under $4,000. And we pretty much do it hands off. And the truth is, we're not the only ones doing this. Airbnb arbitrage is what the smart money is doing in real estate right now. There are operators in the US running 100 plus properties, generating $10 million plus per year. In the UK and Europe, there are entire companies built on this exact model, managing hundreds, even thousands of apartments. So why does this matter? Because this arbitrage model allows people to move faster in the real estate market than ever before. Before, you would need $100,000 plus and it will take months, if not years, to see a profit. That option is not available to most people. But now operators are moving with speed because they can get started with a rental agreement and get profitable within weeks instead of years. And here's the kicker. Once they scale big enough, they use that cash flow to purchase properties outright. So now they own. You see, rental arbitrage isn't a replacement of property ownership. It's the fastest path to property ownership. That's why the smart money is here. But what about someone who's just starting out? Can regular people actually do this? Well, let me show you. This is Stanley, best friend of Terrence for over 11 years and one of the founders of B&B Success. We brought him into the model very early on and mentored him through his first properties. Today, he runs 12 Airbnb properties across not one, but 2 Airbnb companies, and he generates over $100,000 per month. He started from zero, no real estate background, just followed the blueprint. This is Dylan. He's been doing Airbnb arbitrage for about a year now. He has a total of 8 Airbnb properties. He started in October about a year ago, and he has achieved superhost status on Airbnb. Across all of his properties, he averages about 90% occupancy. Meet Omar. He acquired 10 properties in 4 months, and now he makes $70,000 a month. And these are not the only ones. This is Nabil, a full-time doctor who built passive income through Airbnb. Nabil scaled to 3 properties within his first month in B&B Success, and despite being hospitalized for a week, his business earned $15,000 in bookings completely hands-free. He also has superhost status. This is Hudson and Holly, a powerhouse couple, one in construction management, the other a teacher. Within days, their second property brought in $8,000 $800 in net profit after expenses in just 9 days. They're also Superhost and they're thriving together. This is Curtin and Sanjana. This driven couple hit 3 properties within 2 weeks of joining and now manage 5. They're earning passive income while continuing their full-time careers. They even went on holiday while their Airbnb business ran itself. And of course, they're also Superhosts. This is Jake. At only 18, Jake is one of the youngest and hungriest in the program. In his first 2 months, he picked up 3 properties and earned $23,000 in September alone. And of course, he is also Superhost, which by the way is the top 10 to 15% of hosts on Airbnb. This is Nico. Nico operates 3 high-performing Airbnb properties. This is one of his standout bookings. The guest paid $20,000 to stay 55 nights, and his profit after all expenses is $11,000. He's also Superhost. Meet Charmaine. Running her Airbnb business while working full-time, Charmaine proves what's possible with consistency. Her 12-night booking brought in $5,029 in payout, and her calendar stays fully booked. She's also, of course, a Superhost. Do you see the pattern here? These aren't real estate experts. These aren't people with massive capital sitting in the bank. These are regular people. Some working full-time jobs, some fresh out of uni, and some starting with less than $10,000 to their name. This is a business model finally, for regular, everyday people. Not some online business model where you're cooped up in a room, grinding for 10 hours a day, where only 1% of people make it. These results are tangible and quick. You can see your properties actually come to life and receive bookings within hours of listing. And here's what I want you to hear. Most people never even get this far. They watch a TikTok, think, that's interesting. You're watching this video. You're taking it seriously. So let's talk about how this business model actually works. Okay, there are 6 steps. I'm gonna give you the overview first and then break each one down. Step 1 is to secure a rental property. Step 2 is to furnish it efficiently. Step 3 is to list it on Airbnb. Step 4 is to generate income and manage operations. Step 5 is to scale your business. And step 6 is to automate for freedom. And that's it. That's the entire system. Now let me walk you through what each step actually looks like. Step 1, securing a rental property. This is all about finding and securing the right property. Now this isn't just scrolling through real estate rental listings and applying like everyone else. That's a losing game. And here's the key. You don't need every landlord to say yes. Stanley got rejected probably 30 times before landing his first property. And now he has 15. It's a numbers game at first, but once you know what to say and how to position yourself, it gets a lot easier. In the program, we give you exact scripts, the deal structure framework, and even core examples to help you refine your approach. Step 2 is to furnish efficiently. When we started, we spent $8,000 and took 4 weeks to furnish our first place. We had no idea what we were doing. We bought stuff we didn't need. We overpaid for everything. And now we furnish a 1-bedroom apartment in 2 to 3 days for under $4,000. How? We have a bulletproof checklist. Every single item you need, where to get it, how to spend, what guests actually care about versus what's just wasted money. You follow the checklist, you stay on budget, you get the property guests ready fast. Simple as that. Step 3 is listing the property on Airbnb. This is where most people screw up. They throw up some average photos, write a generic description, guess at pricing, and then wonder why they're not getting any bookings. We teach you the listing optimization framework. How to take professional photos, how to write descriptions that actually convert, and how to price dynamically so that you're not leaving any money on the table during peak season or sitting empty during the slow periods. And by the way, we're not just teaching theory here. We literally give you the plug and play templates. You customize them for your property and then you're done. Step 4 is where the money starts rolling in and where most people get overwhelmed, because now you've got guests booking, checking in, asking questions and checking out. You've got cleaners to coordinate, maintenance to handle, and reviews to manage. This is where automation saves you. From booking confirmation to check-in instructions to checkout reminders, it all happens automatically through software. We give you SOPs for cleaners so they know exactly what to do every time. We show you the software stack that we use to keep everything running smoothly without you being glued to your phone 24/7. Because here's the thing, you want to build a business, not buy yourself a job, right? Step 5 is scaling. Once your first property is profitable and running smoothly, you take those profits and reinvest them into property number 2, then property number 3, and then 5. You see, this is where it gets fun, because that $2,300 profit from property 1, that's now covering the setup cost for property number 2, which means you're scaling without needing to pull money out of your own pocket. Most of our students aim for 5 to 10 properties in their first 6 months. Some go faster, some go slower. It depends on your goals and situation. But the blueprint is simple. Prove the model with 1 property, then rinse and repeat. And step 6, this is the end goal. Automate for freedom. Once you have multiple properties running, you start delegating. You hire a virtual assistant to handle all guest communication. You bring on a property coordinator to manage cleaners and maintenance. The goal isn't to manage 20 properties yourself. The goal is to build a business that runs without you being in the day-to-day operation. You focus on growth, optimization, adding more properties, while the system handles everything else. That is freedom. That's the whole point. So here's the 6-step blueprint. Secure a property, furnish it efficiently, list it on Airbnb, manage operations, scale, and automate. Now let me get real with you about the numbers. Here's a real example from one of our standard properties. This month we achieved a rental revenue of $8,703 with an occupancy rate of 80.65%. The Airbnb commission fee was $1,305. The monthly rent for this property is $3,032. Other expenses like utilities, software, key collection, and cleaning are all listed here. And the total expenses is about $5,220. So that leaves us with a net profit of $3,483 for the month. Now that's the model on a standard month. But here's what you need to understand. This business is seasonal. I want to show you guys our biggest weekend yet. During the Formula 1 Grand Prix race, we had 15 properties and generated $76,000 in 4 days. Fully booked out. This happened from March 12th to March 15th in 2025. This weekend paid off our monthly rent for our entire portfolio and put us in the green. Our portfolio is perfectly positioned to capitalize on this opportunity. We have a dynamic pricing strategy that keeps you profitable year round. During the off season, we focus on longer stays. We optimize for occupancy over nightly rate. And we use that time to expand, getting more properties ready so that when summer hits, we've got more doors capturing the peak season demand. The off season isn't dead time, it's growth time. And here's the beautiful part. Even in our slowest months, we're still profitable. We're just not making Grand Prix money every week. But when peak season rolls back around, that's when you stack some serious cash. So that's the reality. This isn't make 10K a month every month like clockwork. Of course it's seasonal, but when you understand the rhythm and you plan for it, that's when you win. Now it's a good thing that you're watching this video right now because there's never been a better time to start an Airbnb business. When we started, we were figuring out guest messaging manually. We were pricing properties by gut feel. We were coordinating our cleaners through endless back and forth texts. It was a mess. Now everything's automated. We use software that handles guest messaging automatically, from booking confirmation to check-in instructions to checkout reminders. Set it once and then forget it. We use dynamic pricing tools and strategies to adjust your rates in real time based on market demand, events, and competition. There's no more guessing. We use cleaning coordination platforms that schedule everything automatically and notify you when it's done. And here's the best part. In our mentorship program, you get all of it. The software stack we use, the guest messaging templates, the listing templates, the furnishing checklist, the property acquisition blueprint. What took us years to figure out and build, you get on day one. That's the unfair advantage. You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from our finish line. Here's exactly what you need to look at. 1. Seasonality. When's the peak season in your city? When are the major events? Sporting events, festivals, conferences? These are your money makers. 2. Competition. Jump on Airbnb right now and search your area. What are similar properties charging? What's their occupancy look like? Are they booked out or are they sitting empty? 3. Rental arbitrage opportunity. Go to rental listing websites and look at rental prices for 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. Then compare that to what those same properties could generate on Airbnb per month. If the Airbnb revenue is 2x or more than the monthly rent, that's a good market. If you're seeing properties charge $200 to $300 per night and the long-term rent is $2,000 to $3,000 per month, it's even better. Now we have a framework we call good deal or no deal. It's a checklist that walks you through exactly what makes a property worth pursuing versus what's a waste of time. Here's our philosophy. Start with 1 property, not 5, not 10, just 1. Because the goal isn't to scale fast and figure it out as you go. The goal is to prove the model, learn the systems. So when you scale to properties 2, 3, 4 and beyond, you actually know exactly what you're doing. The path now is simple. Property 1, master the system, property 2, and then scale independently. Now that you have the knowledge, you're probably already beginning to imagine how it's going to feel having a portfolio of Airbnb properties to your name. To have a property that runs on autopilot while you manage and collect all the profits. Why wouldn't the landlord just do this themselves? Well, let me ask you something. If running an Airbnb was that easy, why isn't every landlord already doing it? Simple, because most landlords don't want a second job. They want passive, secure income. And frankly, Airbnb isn't passive, it's a business. You need systems, guest management, dynamic pricing, cleaning teams, automation, and marketing. All of the works. It's the exact same reason that business owners hire marketing agencies instead of running the ads themselves, because they don't have the skills, the time, or the desire to learn. So instead, they hand it over to a professional, which is yourself. You give them guaranteed rent, zero headaches, and they walk away happy while you keep the upside from bookings. And in business, this is what you call a win-win situation. How do I convince landlords to say yes to subleasing? You don't need to convince anyone. You need to position it correctly. Landlords don't want the risk, they want stability. Think about it. You pay on time, you maintain the property like a business asset, you clean it every few days, and you cover minor maintenance. And you're likely to renew long-term, which means no vacancy stress for them. How much can one property make me? Well, let's break it down. First of all, there are many factors to consider. Location, rent, bedroom count, if the property is furnished or unfurnished. But across the board, most properties net anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a month in pure profit. The best part is, with our model, you'll typically break even on setup costs in under 90 days. I mean, we've had students hit break even within 60 days. Once it's live and automated, it just prints. Okay, if you've watched this far, you now understand more about Airbnb arbitrage than 99% of people who just talk about it online. You know the model, the numbers, the system, and the strategy behind building a real business, not a side hustle. This business changed my life, and it changed the lives of my friends, business partners, and hundreds of people who decided to take action. And if this video opened your eyes or gave you even one actionable insight, do me a favor. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this, and drop a comment with any questions or topics that you want me to break down next. This industry is growing extremely fast, and the people who learn early win early. I'll see you in the next video.